Good morning and it's actually good afternoon. Good afternoon and welcome to Colu TV for our pre-match show, our final pre-match show of the season as we take on Mansfield here at the JobServe Community Stadium. We kick off in just under half an hour. Quick reminder before we get on with the show, we will be announcing the end of season awards in a few minutes after the full-time whistle. It'll be done pitch side, so hang around to see who you have voted for as player, young player, and your goal of the season. Plus, there'll be others to be announced as well. Once those have been done, the players will be doing a lap of appreciation for all you fans and supporters. They'll be signing autographs. You'll be able to get your selfies, so make sure you stick around for that too. On a more serious note, must remind you that it's illegal to go onto the pitch. It is just for the players, so please refrain from doing that at the final whistle. Thank you very much for that. Right, Mansfield this afternoon, they need a win to give themselves any possible chance of making the playoffs, but we will be doing our best to stop them doing that because we want to finish off with a win at the end of the season. Let's get the thoughts of Ben Garner ahead of today's game.
Well, Ben, obviously you got the job done a couple of weeks ago, disappointed with the defeat by Doncaster, but no fears or feelings that on Monday it doesn't matter against Mansfield. This is a game you want to go out and win.
Absolutely, it's our last home game and we want to put on a show in front of our own supporters first and foremost. It'd be nice to finish the season with 3 home wins in a row. And also for me, it's always about doing what's right for the league as well. There's still things to be decided at the top end of the division. And it's important that we're honouring the league and the rest of the teams by being as strong as we can and playing as well as we can and trying to win the game.
I know Mansfield are bringing a lot of fans, and it's quite a nice one for the Colchester fans, to mark the fact that the job has been done, but also the fact that it should be an open game because they have to come here and win and they have to come here and score goals.
Yeah, I think Nigel's teams always play on the front foot and are quite creative and attacking, and they've got a really talented squad, some fantastic players in there, a few that I've worked with before. So they have to win, they have to score goals, which I think is a good thing because it makes sure it's not a flat last game of the season. It makes sure there's an atmosphere from the way that they play and the supporters that they're bringing. I'm sure we'll make an atmosphere with our home support as well. And we're looking forward to finishing the season on a strong note. And
speaking of the fans, I've obviously enjoyed the last 2 home games, 4 goals in each as well, and that a bit more of an idea of how you want to go about things, and you want to entertain you want people to come and get their bums off the seats and get excited.
Yeah, absolutely. For me, I love teams that attack and score goals and be on the front foot, and that's how we want to play. And for me, that's the only way to play. That's the reason everyone loves the game, and the reason every kid starts playing the game is to have the ball and to attack and enjoy it. So we want that to be a foundation of what we are, and obviously balance that with being good defensively and being a complete team. But the last 2 home games have been really good in that respect, and as I say, it'd be nice to make it 3 home wins and finish the season really well.
And without sort of going over last week's game, as it were, sort of after the game, you sensed your annoyance and sensed the annoyance of the players as well, that it still mattered, and maybe that's the standard that's been set.
Yeah, absolutely. It was we won. We were the better side and we should have won the game, but I still felt we could have been better. As I said after the game, and my opinion hasn't changed, we were probably just a little small percentage off the sharpness that we have been and had opportunities to take and win the game. But my reflection after watching the game back and looking through things is still the way the game was refereed and the way the officials performed was nowhere near good enough, and the game mattered to us. We wanted to win, we wanted to keep our unbeaten run going, and a big factor in that was the way the referee dealt with the game and the key decisions in the game. And for me, that's not good enough. At any stage of the season, we needed to be better and make sure that the game is decided by the performances of the players, and you don't get that feeling of injustice that we've worked hard all week and we haven't, the game hasn't been allowed to flow and play in the way that it should have been.
Again, without going on about last week, obviously Junior Chamadou sent off. Have you sort of had a word with him about that?
Yeah, Junior came in straight away the next week and apologised, but he didn't actually know that he'd been given the first yellow or the second. So he had his back to the referee when he was given the first yellow card, so I wasn't aware. He was then given a subsequent yellow card and a red card, but again, and you can see it clearly on the video footage, Junior's walking off the pitch and the referee's behind him and gives him a yellow and then a red. He doesn't even know until one of the lads tells him later on that he got the red card. So it was frustration. If you look at the key decisions in the game, we have a clear penalty first half, the handball. we have one of their players puts his head in one of our players' face, clear red card, and we have a goal at the end of the game that's well over the line and not given. So even those 3 decisions alone dictate the game. And we spoke earlier in the week that we're always going to be frustrated by that and disappointed by it. We need to try and channel that in the right way as a group, me included, because I was frustrated and ended up getting a yellow card. But at the same time, should we be in that position where we're frustrated like that? Not really, not to that extent. If the game's being managed in the right way, but it's probably going to be the same situation next season, if I'm honest, and something that me and the team, we need to be better at coping with and dealing with in those situations.
Yeah, and clearly it's been a stressful season for everyone anyway. Do you think maybe that's come into it? Obviously, there's the relief in getting the job done, but the stress has come into it that, look, we're giving our all here, and sometimes things aren't going to go your way, and it's how you sort of deal with that in the heat of battle as well.
Yeah, I think I want my team to want to win, and you could see that on Saturday, and you could see the frustration with the way the game was being managed and the decisions that were being made. And if they weren't getting annoyed and weren't getting frustrated, would that be an even bigger issue? Probably for me, because you need to care, you need to want to do well and win for this football club. So I don't want to take that edge off the players. I don't want that to take that edge out of me. We want to win. That's what we're here to do. But yeah, we need to channel it in the right way and make sure as much as possible that it's not costing us points in games.
Who knows what the future holds, but I think everyone's had the vibe from you that A, you're enjoying it here, B, you think it's a club you could do something with, and C, that you really want to lay down roots here and build something for a long time, if allowed to and if possible and if things go well.
Yeah, absolutely. I've enjoyed my time so far. I've said from day one, huge potential as a football club, and that was a big reason in me taking the job, that I was confident we could stay in the division first and foremost, and obviously we've done that, but also now let's take this forwards in all aspects of the club. We had a good meeting last week as a board, and we got a technical board meeting again this afternoon about all areas that we want to improve and get better. And Robbie's really transparent with the budget and the finances and how everything operates at the club, which for me is great. And from my point of view, I will always push to get things done and get better and improved. And some of them I will get yeses on, and some of them I will get no's on, which is absolutely fine. But if I'm not pushing and I'm just accepting things the way they are, I don't think I would be doing my job properly. So I want to improve all areas from a football perspective. We want to be as competitive as we can. We want the fans to enjoy coming and watching their team play. We want to develop players. We want to try and be at the top end of the division. These are all our ambitions for next season and beyond.
With next season sort of in mind, I know I've asked you about this before and you said you've got a couple of meetings, but are players now aware of their futures? Have those conversations started now face to face?
No, not as yet. They will do now. We're making decisions on obviously players that are out of contract, and I'll also be having meetings with all the players that are within contract, just in terms of setting some targets for next season now, letting them go away and enjoy their break, but then speak about what we're looking to build and what we're looking to do next season, so that when we come back, first day of pre-season, from the fitness testing into the first day of pre-season proper training, we're ready to go, we're ready to work, and we're ready to push on.
And just finally from me, again, next season seems an age away, but it'll be here with us in the blink of an eye. Looking at the teams who are already confirmed relegated, and the likely ones and the ones likely to go up and the ones coming in, a tougher division next season, do you feel?
Possibly. I definitely think last season, in my experience, the division last season was stronger than this, in my opinion. Looking at next season with the calibre of teams coming in Wrexham, I think will be fantastic for the league with the exposure that they're going to bring as well. Notts County potentially as well. I know there's a playoffs to go, and I'm not being disrespectful to anyone else in those playoffs. It could be any of those teams. And then you look at the teams coming down from League One as it stands, and potentially still coming down from League One. It looks to be a strong division next season, and as I say, we want to be right in the mix for that at the top end.
A few forced changes in the starting 11 there, as Ben mentioned. If you do want to check out the starting 11 for the final game of the season, do go to our website or our socials for all the up-to-date news. Should be a good game this afternoon, and we will be looking at taking the points from Mansfield and finishing off 5 unbeaten at home. That'd be a great finish to the season, wouldn't it? That's for sure. And just 1 loss in our last 10 games. Although you can't vote anymore, let's take a look back at the goal of the season contenders, because the winner will be announced after the game pitchside. So once again, make sure you stay around for that, because it's you that's voted for it. Let's take a look at the goals. Some great goals there, as we've said before, some excellent strikes in that group. You'll find out shortly who you have voted for goal of the season, as well as all the other awards. Right, that's pretty much it for the end of the last pre-match show. But I'd like to say a big thank you to each and every one of you who has watched the show and the shows throughout this season. Also the team behind the camera that put this together. We'll have one more roundup with everything from today's game on Wednesday evening's midweek show. Don't forget to hang around after today's final whistle, where the awards will be made and the players will be going around to show their appreciation to all the supporters that are here. It's our biggest gate of the season here at the JobServe Community Stadium. But once again, please ask you to refrain from encroaching onto the pitch after the final whistle, as the players won't be able to do their lap of appreciation if there's people on the pitch. So please remember that. Right, we'll get more news over the summer as when it comes. If you can't be here today, please do head across to the iFollow where you can watch the game live. And I'll see you on Wednesday for the midweek show. But if you can't make that, have a great summer, whatever you're up to. And we'll fill you in with any of the news throughout the summer. So keep your eyes open on all the social medias and the club's website. Until next time, it's thanks for watching, and it's goodbye for now.